One of the exciting things about being in this industry is that you're really at the cutting edge in many ways of looking, when you look at how 3D is being created or impacting the world. Now is a really interesting time because we're seeing things like virtual reality, augmented reality, 3D printing, and even things like for example, WebGL. So now 3D on the web is, 3D is a native format for the web, so it's able to be viewed on all devices without any plugins or anything. So the demand for content is definitely there. So the applications go far and wide. They don't necessarily have to be specific to media and entertainment. So for example, there are a lot of guys that I know who are in the hard surface modelers, and a lot of their skill set can cross over directly into industrial design. So I think, and in fact, I know some artists who have ended up so they're just building lots of they started their career building lots of mechs and robots and stuff like that. Now they're doing surgical instruments. They're designing surgical instruments and medical kind of instruments, and they look really awesome. And they impact like thousands and thousands of lives worldwide. So I think there's definitely a lot of there's a lot of opportunity to move into related industries as a result of things that have kind of been developed out of this industry. If you want to succeed in the industry, definitely you have to make that transition from being a fanboy that just wants to be in this industry because there's this concept that, the cool kids are doing this, or I want to be cool because I want to work on, a big film or a big game or whatever, to actually being a professional where the value that you bring to a production and where that value fits in. And I think definitely to succeed in this industry, you have to kind of make that transition. So that's
it's a vital thing.
It's a vital thing, that has to be done at some point in your career.
Right.
Yeah. One of the areas that has always traditionally just been very difficult to hire for are areas where they require both creativity, the right brain, as well as the left brain, which is more the logic and kind of the science of it. So technical directors, for example, always, if you have a guy or a gal who's just really, really good at being able to kind of merge these two fields together, always very employable. So game visual effects, that's an area that it's kind of that same thing as well, because you have to be very good, technically minded in order to do these kinds of visual effects in real time, but also artistically minded so that how to make things look good. So those areas are always by far the most difficult to hire for, those kinds of dual kind of roles, I think. But there's also a lot of demand in kind of these emerging markets, for example, virtual reality. Right now, virtual reality and augmented reality is very hot. I think because people are still, there's a lot of investment going into virtual reality, and people haven't yet figured out how is this supposed to work. And so because the market just isn't matured yet, there's a demand there, and there's a need for people to kind of blaze that trail. And so if you know anything about it, and you can actually create a great virtual experiences, that's also an area that I think is a very high demand right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.